So give me an idea. If you go into Tinder and you've got to do like this heavy protein diet, what are you eating in there?
So I'm going to load up on the beef, my man.
Okay, and I think they have two different, like you can do the lean or the other one that I won't say that word. That word just like freaks me out. I may just take my headphones off if one else says it, but that M word for the other, which do you do, the lean or the M?
So here's what I would tell you is you can not go wrong with moist.
Okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm leaving right now. I'm done.
Launch sequence activated.
Welcome to CelinaRadio.com. I'm your host, Ron Lyons, and if you think that Celina, Texas is just a quiet little sleepy town with absolutely nothing going on, then you better buckle up because Celina Radio is about to launch.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of CelinaRadio.com. Today I've got a returning guest for you. Somebody that's been on the show before. Somebody that you're going to know if you've attended any events in Celina, Texas over the last year. You're going to know this person because she is literally volunteering her time constantly. As a matter of fact, I have no idea how she even has a normal life because I promise you, if there's an event going on, she's volunteering. And guess what? She brought someone with her to the show today. But I'm not going to tell you who that is just yet. What I will tell you is that today's guest is Vicky Hogue. And she happens to be running for school board again. And so we're going to touch bases. We're going to find out a little bit about how that whole process is going. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to ask some fun questions. Basically going to have a good time. And you're really going to enjoy the person she brought to the show. So she didn't come alone. She brought somebody, which makes it very, very interesting. So guys, sit back, relax, and let's get into my conversation with Vicky Hogue. All right, guys, I am here today with somebody who's making their second debut on CelinaRadio.com, and it is none other than Vicky Hogue. Vicky, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be here a second time.
Only the second person to be here twice now. But you're not alone today. You brought somebody with you. Who did you bring today?
So I'm excited to tell everyone that I did bring somebody with me. It's my husband, David Hogue, and I'll let him say hello.
David, how you doing, man?
Fantastic, Ron. I appreciate the opportunity. I know the last time that Vicky got to speak and visit with you, you put me in the corner. I felt like a naughty boy, so I do.
Now you get to participate. And last time we did this, we were in Lucy's, right? So it was noisy there. And today we've already had a little microphone problems. We had to use an alternate headset. There's a smoke detector in the house that's beeping because of a battery going down on that. And yet we're still going to do this. So how are you feeling about now? Let's tell everybody the reason you're here. You're running for school board again.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you feel very passionately about that because you've done it a time or two. Tell me about that. You're running for which place?
I'm running for school board place 4, and yes, I have ran more than once, and it is definitely a passion of mine. I think I am learning quickly a lot about what it takes to put yourself out there and really run a race, and right. I definitely commend anybody who does that because it takes a lot. It definitely does.
It's quite, I mean, it's a good experience, and at the same time, it can be a beatdown. I mean, it can be rough too.
Yes, and so I've had great conversations with people around the community, and I think one that really sticks is Chief Cullison. last time I ran was like, Vicky, it's not always about the end result. You know, you didn't win, but what about the path that got you here? And so David and I talk a lot about the path of actually going on this journey, and it's actually been a great one. We talked a little bit about how much we volunteer and how important that is to us, and we've really discovered that through this path. So it's kind of unique. Yes, I have ran more than once, and the outcome hasn't been exactly what I wanted, but it's always been a good journey.
That is okay. That's not such a bad thing, because if you go back in history and look at how many times and the different people who became very famous ultimately, how many times they ran and how many times they didn't quite make it at first, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So now let me ask you, David, on the other side, because you get to see the other side of this, being the spouse, being the significant other, going through all of this, what's that like?
It's a growing opportunity. As Vicky said, we've gone through a couple of these. The experience that we've had here, though, has been one that is really fulfilling. There are questions, and people kind of quantify what success is. And what I would say is that for Vicky and I, success is getting out, seeing the community, having the community acknowledge that we care about the community. Just to develop in the relationship here and a long-term pathway that we'd like to get through to, not only the school district itself and the school board and the kids, but, there's a love for kids and there's a drive for rigor. I'd say the other thing that, I think you know this about us, Ron, is that we are passionate about volunteer work. We're going to be on the square tonight, looking forward to it, but also about the community services team, so the fire department, the police department, the city themselves. It's a great team and it's a great experience. So, again, as Vicky said, if we haven't taken this journey down the school board path, so to speak, we may not have enjoyed and got to be able to share as much as we have. And so when you talk about success, that success in our own minds is that really enjoying the community that you live in and enjoying the people around you.
I like it. So even though the actual end result wasn't, hey, I'm on school board now, there's been a lot of success in other ways, getting those experiences. It's all about that, right?
Yes.
And all of this is centered around Celina, Texas. And I know you've got a passion. I know you guys love Celina. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit.
Sounds good.
Maybe some things have changed a little bit from last time. And if people wanted to, they could go back and listen to your last podcast and then this podcast. And they say, well, last time she liked going to this restaurant, and this was her favorite food, but this time it's something different. That could happen. So let's talk about that. What do you guys like to eat on the square? And I'll just go ahead and knock out the thing. They're all awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So we're not putting any others down by lifting one up. I just want to know, and the listeners always want to know, what do y'all like to do? David, you wanna lead that? What do you like to do with food wise? Where do you like to eat?
Before we head to the food, I'm an exercise guy, so I like to be fit. Protein is a heavy combination for my, steady diet.
Right.
This morning at a Rotarian meeting, quarterly breakfast.
Right.
We got to go to, a protein place. We went to Tenders.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
We love Tenders. And again, the selection there, the people there, that atmosphere, it's one of those, it's inviting, we really enjoy. And we met, again, from the community work, but when you start to walk in the door and you start recognizing 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 people,
right?
And you're at breakfast at Tenders. But we really enjoy that. What I'll tell you about that staff and that team as well is being a part of the quarterback club, part of the city. We have seen, those guys come out and serve the community. Always a pleasant face, always a great meal.
Right.
So it makes it enjoyable to go in there.
Absolutely. One of my favorite places. So give me an idea. If you go into Tinder and you've got to do like this heavy protein diet, what are you eating in there?
So I'm going to load up on the beef, my man.
Okay. And I think they have two different, like you can do the lean or the other one that I won't say that word. That word just like freaks me out. I may just take my headphones off if one of y'all says it. But that M word for the other, which do you do, the lean or the M?
So here's what I would tell you is you can not go wrong with moist.
Okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm leaving right now. I'm done. No, just kidding. Yes, that is one of those words that's like, I guess if I have a trigger, That might be it. I'm not sure. But so you like that. Are you doing the no carb thing right now? Are you just controlling carbs? How are you doing that part?
So we try to run about an 80-20 blend, so 80% protein, 20% carbs. And it's not crazy. It's easy for me to kind of control. I've been doing it probably 25, 30 years.
Right.
Pretty balanced, if you would. So this morning, lots of protein.
Right.
But we did break down, and I had a partial piece of toast. So
there's your 20%. So Vicky, are you on this diet with him? Are you eating the same way, or do you kind of spin off in your own direction?
No, I do spin off in my own direction.
Tell us about it.
I will tell you, we have a 12-year-old, so if we come out of the square, the first thing she's going to want us to do,
of
which
course.
we did not bring up last time, is hey sugar, and I do not know how I forgot.
No, it's an amazing place. I'm there quite often myself, not for me, but I've got a 10-year-old.
Yes.
So I understand that. So you don't eat the heavy protein 80-20 split. You don't do that. What do you do?
If it was me, I love the toasted walnut, the avocado, and the chicken salad. And I'm a big fan of avocado, so
very nice.
That would be my pick.
Super, super good food.
Yes.
I love that. That's good stuff. So sometimes there might come a point where you guys have got to decide, all right, what are we going to have for tonight? Where are we going to go? How do you guys work out between you? Is she always the boss? Do we flip a coin? Does he always get to choose? How does that work? There's a lot of staring back and forth.
I would say
right now.
sometimes it's based on the kids. We do have the 12-year-old and a 19-year-old.
Right.
And a lot of times it's like, is he going to finish it? Most likely that's going to be pizza, so we do frequent off those.
Oh, yeah, I remember that
Yes.
from the last time.
Yes, and I work at
remember
Pizza
that.
Hut.
Gotcha.
But we do explore, so.
I remember that. So we've got a fair amount of pizza in this town, and more coming. Okay,
Yes,
for people
yes.
who don't know, there's a lot of pizza on the way here. So what? I'm gonna kind of venture off a little bit. If you had to choose like a type of pizza, okay, cheese pizza, or I like this or that. What is Vicky Hogue's favorite kind of pizza?
I would say that it's probably driven from David, but I do like a all meat type or a meat specialty pizza.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I can hang with that. I've had my fair share of pizzas.
Yes, we do. We do love pizza. It's a well balanced meal.
So I'm gonna remember that the next time I'm getting griped at home and say, hey, Vicky said it's well balanced, and her husband's a fitness guy and he didn't disagree. So we have to have pizza. But give me an idea. You said that you've definitely through this process you've learned about the hard work that the teachers do and some of those things. Tell me about that a little bit.
So yeah, David and I attend every school board meeting, so we have, since we've been on this journey, to really learn and understand, what is going on, because I agree, it's important to find out firsthand. There's a lot of things that you can see or read, but really finding out, attending a school board meeting or even reading about it if you can is the best way to understand what's happening. And we've been quite impressed. Dr. Tom really extends a welcome to anyone that's there. And he really takes the time to talk about the kids and do a lot, I believe, for the district. And one of the things I've learned and one of the things I've been trying to do, even myself, is just try to celebrate the teachers. And it is amazing. It's something as small as just thanking them on your Facebook page. It's really easy, as you said, to go out there and be passionate about things that may not be exactly what we agree upon, but it's just as easy to go out there and celebrate those teachers who are working hard under extreme conditions today and really trying to do the best they can for the teachers. So for me, I'm very passionate about making sure that everyone understands not just what our teachers are doing, but really, what's happening when we're at those school board meetings. We've been really excited about them putting on a communications director to really try to bring the parents along. They've done a lot of meetings that we've attended for the parents so that they can really communicate, hey, is this working? And what are your thoughts? And for me, I think that's terrific because the parents are the key to really driving a great district. So we're just excited about what we can learn and really just can't emphasize enough how important it is to take a little time to really get involved and find out for yourself, because you would be very surprised at all the amazing things that are happening.
So you said, you mentioned Facebook a while ago, and sometimes it's just a matter of making a Facebook comment or something
Yes.
like that. So I want to talk about that. do you have a Facebook page? Is there a place that people can go right now and learn a little bit more about you? How are you? Do you have a website? Do you have a phone number, something like that you want to share? How do people find out more about Vicky Hogue and her position in running for school board?
Yes, please. I would welcome anybody to come. I have a personal Facebook page, Vicky Hogue, and you can also find me for Vicky Hogue for School Board Place 4. But if you can't find me in any of those ways, then send me a text. My number is 972-948-6385. Text is the best. So at
Text
least,
is
yeah.
always, that's me.
So I know.
I'm way better on text than I am in talking to people. I don't know why. I communicate well. I just don't like talking on the phone. So, it's just one of those things. So, let me just ask you this. If this one doesn't work out like we want it to, then will you come back and run again?
I think we'll talk through it, David and I, but we're always up for a good challenge. And I just know, we don't tell our kids to give up when they start a sport and they're not the best at it. We certainly tell them to keep trying and do their best. And I just want people to know that you do not have to give up. It doesn't always, my road may be a lot more windy and it may take a little longer for me. But we've also learned that it's part of our responsibility to really show the community who we are and to really let them know that we care. And to really expose ourselves to everybody. So we want to take on that level of responsibility. And if it takes a couple of years, then hopefully it won't, Ron. But
but if it does.
But I'd like to think that I'm up for the challenge. And it's very important for me, not just for myself and the position, but to showcase for my kids and other people that, hey, you don't have to give up.
Right.
And that just have a lot of grit and keep at it. And amazing things can happen. It's not always about the win.
No, I fully agree with that. Thankfully, so I'm gonna have a little bit of fun here with you guys, and I'm also gonna refer people back to your previous podcast because there's a lot of great information there. That's where we learned who you work for. We learned a lot about your favorite things to do. There was an awful lot of information on that, so I would encourage people to go back and listen to that podcast. So. But I want to have a little more fun with you guys right now, especially because I have both of you here. So I'm gonna kind of go back and forth. I'm gonna shoot some questions at Vicky. I'm gonna shoot some questions at David, and we're just gonna kind of see how this goes. Now, you have not been prepared for this. You do not know what I'm gonna ask right now, correct?
Correct.
How nervous are you right now about what I'm gonna ask?
I would say we're not nervous. It's like the journey we've been on. You never know. What's in the box of chocolates? Is this going to be what it's going to be?
It is. That's right. You got to take it as it comes. So, all right, David, first question. How would your family and friends describe you?
Energetic, outgoing, welcoming, ready to help at a moment's notice. And then they may say I'm a little pushy.
I like that. There's always honesty is on the end. It's like, here's the good stuff. Oh, and this. I like that. That's awesome. I do appreciate that honesty. So, Vicky, what do you think your mission in life is?
I think we're living it. I think my mission in life is to volunteer and help others. And we're learning how to do that every day more and more. And it's something that it's a passion, and it's a passion of both of ours, and we're instilling that in our family. So really volunteering and giving to others, it's a perfect time in our life to do that, and we're able to do that, and I'm excited to keep that going.
I like it. So, Vicky, I'm going to ask you another one. So if you had to write a book tomorrow, what would you write about?
If I had to write a book tomorrow, you know what? I'd probably write about the kids, because I also have learned a lot and watching them. I talk a lot about Missy because she's 12 and she's right there. But we had a wonderful experience with our son. We love to share it because it happened in the community. And it's one of the reasons that we're just so passionate. He went to the Firefighter Citizens Academy. He expressed an interest, and so we were like, the city of Celina gives you a little taste. Before you make that leap, why don't you go see what it's like? And those guys were awesome with him. I mean, we can just not thank them enough. They embraced him. The whole class did. They made him feel really good about himself. And today he is about to graduate from the Collin County Firefighters program that they have. Right. And it's because they helped him. They told him where to go. They really encouraged him. And, he didn't know for sure. He was at that crossroads where, what do I do? And it was just that help that they gave him. They inspired him. They made him feel really good about what he was doing, and they made him feel like he could do it, and he did. And I'm really proud of that. I'm also proud because my dad was a firefighter, so it means a lot to my mom, and we can't thank that team enough.
That's huge. That's very, very big. So it's almost like a family of community service.
Yes.
I mean, it's very, very, it's just like, it's just woven through who you guys are. I mean, is it not? You have a son now who's committed to doing that level of service. You guys are literally at every single, I never go anywhere and don't see you guys. I'm like, oh, there's Vicky. Go to the next event. There's Vicky. Go to the next event. Oh, there's Vicky and David over there. You're at almost everything. So I think that's critical to you guys. And it's also amazing. It's a testament to who you are as a family, what your values are. So I think that's huge. But I don't want to get too deep into the serious stuff. I want to come back. I want to come back a little bit and see if I can ask something really stupid like, David, what's your favorite color M&M? You don't even eat them, but if you did.
Red.
Okay. Is there any reason for that, or is it just...
Red is pretty much matches the personality, right?
Gotcha. There had to be a reason. He was so confident in that. So, Vicky, I have to ask you, did you know his favorite color of M&M was red?
No, I did not.
So you learned something
Yes.
today, and that's very important. So, Vicky, what's your favorite color?
I would probably pick red as well, but I like red. But I recently learned that some of that dye is made from beetles from my 12-year-old. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm
Maybe change.
thinking about,
not,
the chocolate brown.
I gotcha. I understand. So, Vicky, what makes you smile?
I guess life. I have, I'm fortunate enough to have things going really well. I know that people have it hard, and so I do try to just present myself as kindly as I can to everyone, because you never know. People have bad days. We don't know what's going on, and so I just don't want to be something else that makes it worse.
Very, very good. David, what was your childhood like?
Childhood. Very loving. Grew up probably, Ron, I think we've shared a couple of different stories on the underfunded side of the track, so to speak.
Hey, I've been there.
Yeah.
I know it real well.
So, hardworking background, ground up, grassroots, if you would, dig it in, make it happen. And I think that goes back to some of the things that you asked Vicky earlier, is that I will tell you this: if it doesn't pan out the way we think it's going to, we're not going to quit. I think, again, that comes from, to your question, the background. I came from a working family of, agriculture. So that still rings true today. So I think, pretty much, if I were to describe myself, that's a hard-working individual. And again, I was very fortunate, got to play a little ball, but it was all about hard work. But I can have no complaints about the childhood, if you would.
No, absolutely. And sometimes coming up kind of on the hard path actually gives you more advantages in life. Okay, maybe not always financially or something, but it's not all measured by finance, right? So you come up kind of the hard way, and you have that ingrained into your personality, and it just makes you maybe a little better at handling life. You've been there, you've been in the hard stuff, and so it just makes handling the future hard stuff easier. So I like that very much. So let's go, Vicky. What are you most afraid of?
What am I most afraid of? Ooh, I can't think of it off the top of my
I
head, but I'm sure.
I think David just had an idea of what you're
I'm
most
sure
afraid
he can.
of. Yeah, so you wanna chime in on this? What's she most afraid of?
What she's most afraid of? Sugar.
I like it. Sugar is kind of evil.
Yeah.
It can be.
It can be. It's very addicting.
And it wrecks so much of your body. I mean, it just wrecks so much. So, but the problem with it is, like you said, it's addictive. It's just one of those things. So, David, did you know what you wanted to do in high school? Did you, like, when you were in high school, you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do when I get out of high school, when I get out of, did you want to go to college? Did you want to become some sort of a professional in some field? Did you know what you wanted to do?
So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. What I would tell you is I was very interested in hunting and fishing. I had reached out to the Texas Department of Parks and Wildlife. I actually thought I was going to be a game warden.
Oh, wow. What a cool job that'd be.
absolutely fabulous to be out in the environment and be around things that you enjoy. Fortunate enough, again, because of the side of the tracks I came up on, I got an opportunity at PepsiCo. I've got I'm 37 years with that company. Can't be any more appreciative, but we really had a good ride with those folks. Here's what I will tell you. I never thought we would be making chips.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's very interesting. That's true. Huh. Very, very interesting. And that's from somebody. So are you still with Pepsi or not now?
Still with Pepsi. Again, when I went to work for Frito-Lay North America, we didn't naturally understand that the parent company was PepsiCo.
Oh, wow.
All right. So today we fought Big Blue. So it's PepsiCo Foods North America is who I officially work for. But again, it's a development of salty snacks. Quaker is under that umbrella as well. And then there's a large portfolio of beverages, whether that be Pepsi, Gatorade, Aquafina water. But it's a great company, and the reach is so large, and they give back. That's the other part, is that they afford me the opportunity to come and be a greater part of the community here. Our flexible schedules and the way things work. So I'm most appreciative to the opportunity to work with those folks. And try to plug them like we are today.
Wait, you know what? I'll be honest here. I've supported your company so much, so I feel like I've helped pay a small part of your salary, and I'll take credit for allowing you the opportunity to volunteer as much as you do. It was not my idea, and I had nothing to do with it. But I have paid plenty of money for some Pepsi type products, and probably more than I should admit. So, Vicky, have you ever in your life faced some sort of a big personal obstacle that you would be willing to share with us that you had to overcome? Something in past life, or that, maybe a medical issue, maybe education, maybe financial, anything that you'd like to share like that?
Well, I do share a lot because I feel like people don't really know that as an introvert how difficult it is sometimes to get out there and speak. And so you're starting to hear more and more, but I'd like to tell people we're a house of introverts, but really it was corporate America. I mean, it's hard enough running for an office, but you can stay behind the scenes a little bit, but walking into corporate America was a huge obstacle for me. And so having a good support system, I was fortunate enough to go to college, and I was fortunate enough to make a strong network and have a lot of people to support me, but it was scary. And so actually learning the ropes and having the confidence to get out there. Now, the unusual thing is public speaking was not my problem, but it's really more of I want to sit, I want to reflect, I want to think about it. And when you dive into the corporate world, they want an answer and they want to move. So really understanding how that world works, it was very scary at first. And so I think it took me a little while to really catch on. But I think, like David said, I can appreciate what I've been given and the opportunities that I've been given just going through that. But that has been a real struggle in building that confidence, just because for me it's easier to be at home.
I understand that.
In the quiet.
Right. You're not
Yeah.
unique or alone in feeling that way. So I'm going to ask you some questions about each other, and it's just going to be kind of nothing planned here. So I'm probably going to stumble around a little bit. I don't have anything planned on this, but I just thought this might be kind of fun and unique. And so I'm going to ask each of you a question about the other person, and you tell me what you think, and then the other person can tell me if they were right or wrong. Okay. All right. So David, for Vicky, would she prefer a chocolate chip cookie or an oatmeal cookie?
Chocolate chip cookie.
Vicky, is he right?
Yes, we eat a lot of chocolate chip cookies in our house. But David likes chocolate chip too, and the kids.
She's gonna throw you right into that bus with her. She's like, yeah, you just flooded me out on chocolate chip cookies. I'm taking you down. I like it. All right, Vicky, for David, would he rather be barefoot or wearing shoes?
Oh, barefoot. Oh my gosh, that one's so easy.
You know each other so well.
Him and my 12-year-old. I'm like, why are these socks everywhere and not on feet?
Oh man, that's awesome. All right, David, what is one of Vicky's favorite songs of all time?
Wow, that's a tough one.
She says she's in there. Look, she got some pretty serious look in her face right now.
Yeah, she's like, how does he not know this?
You got to come up with something quick.
There's no coming up. I'm stumbling right now. It's a complete fog. absolute fog. Now, if my 12-year-old was here, she would have already spit out 25 different songs.
Right, of course. Well, let's flip it around. All right, Vicky, what's David's favorite? One of his favorite songs.
Well, I know the other day you were listening to some Gary Stewart, like Empty Glass. I don't know.
Gosh, yes.
Don't know if it's a favorite, but.
All right. Now, let me just tell you this. I saw Gary Stewart in concert in Dallas, like not concert, but like at a Cowboys Red River or something like that. Back in the day when that song came on and it echoed through that place, it was like, it just gave you chills. It was unbelievable, and I'm so happy to have gotten to see Gary Stewart live and in person and hear that song echoing through the country place. It was amazing. I mean, it was like, to me, it was just like, it was profound. So are you a Gary Stewart fan?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just what you just described draws you in, and you're just consumed by it.
Very, very good. And Vicky gets a pass here because she knew that. She actually tuned in. She knew what you were listening to. So that's some very, very good stuff there. So, all right, let me ask you a question for Vicky. Is Vicky going to be more of a mountains or beach person? What would she prefer?
Well, this is going to be easy. We've been going to the beach the last 20 years. I mean, the mountains the last 20 years. And we've always talked about going to the beach. The last 2 years, hey, we're going to Hawaii.
Wow.
She just got back from a business trip on the beach.
So you're saying her preference would be mountains. Is that right?
I'm saying her preference is beach, but because the family likes the mountains,
Gotcha.
she will take the sacrifice, do what the family likes to do. But if you're asking me what she wants to do, she wants to be on the beach.
Okay, Vicky, true or false? Is that right?
That is correct.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, so now you guys are going to have to get together and make one command decision on this next question. Okay. And you've probably heard it 1,000 times. I may have even asked you this, but I just can't get away from it. I love this question. I think it's so silly. So you guys have to combine together, and you either have to fight, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? A horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. And you have to work together. So which do you choose to fight as a family? What's it going to be?
We're going to take on the big duck.
And I lean towards him, Ron, because you see what he looks like. So
right, you know he can handle it.
Yeah, so we're going to put him out front, and then we'll take whatever else we need to
do. So awesome. I love it. So, guys, it was great having both of you together. You guys are obviously very, very involved in the community. You love the community, and we love all of your service, everything you do. I, for one, respect and appreciate that very, very much. I wish you luck in this. And I know for a fact you may say that we'll have to discuss it, but you know what? I already know you'll be back if it doesn't work out. You're not going to give up. You're not going to quit. I've learned that about you, Vicky. So, guys, thank you so very much. And this is Vicky and David Hogue. So, guys, what did you think about Vicky and David Hogue? They're great people. They are just the eternal optimist. They're the eternal givers of time, and just they volunteer on everything. They're just fantastic people. Very, very, very involved in the community. And of course, Vicky's making another run at the school board. She's got that don't give up kind of personality that I respect very much. So I tell you what, here's what I know for sure. I have no idea if Vicky's going to make it on school board, but I do know that combined, Vicky and David will continue to work in this community, volunteer their time, and make sure that Celina continues to be the kind of place that is warm and welcoming and amazing to everyone who crosses paths with them. They're very, very good people, and I appreciate them coming on the show for a second time very, very much. I think David added so much to it. It was just crazy. And yes, he nearly ran me out of the studio. I just can't stand that M word. I don't know why. I'm not triggered by much, but I couldn't do that. So Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. We've got just, I believe as of right now, one more candidate coming on the show. So I look forward to that, and I look forward to having you join me on that episode. But until then, guys, stay safe and God bless.